Yeah. All right. It's Danger Recall.
Hey.
How you doing, team? It's Danger Recall. This is Danger Recall episode 36, where we talk about episode 36. This is the old new show, the new old show. The old show, we talk about shows. Hey, show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I'm recalling shows. And I've got some guests with me here today, and their names are James Lockhart.
Hello.
And Ross Harmston.
Bum 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 bum.
And Scott Wilson Bestgrove. And Dan Thompson. Nice. This is a very musical episode.
We are like a human soundboard or one of those crap drum kits we all got as kids that was just like, yes, you can drum like a real drummer. And you go...
Do you remember Music 3000 on the PlayStation?
No.
Yes!
Mm-hmm.
Except I had Music 2000 because I'm about 5 years older than you, Ross.
Me too. And we all made the same tune, basically.
Game.
But it was a lovely idea.
Yeah.
I remember being at a party at university and everyone was a little bit like, wee and taking various things. And I put the tune that I made on in the day and everyone was like, yeah, man, this is really cool.
You got a real gift. What was the inspiration? Well, the five.
Like, you made this? Really? You made this? This is so good, man. You should put it on, you should release it. Oh, bro.
Weirdly, I made a dance remix using quotes from my D&D character from the time.
Did you?
And did not get feedback quite so positive as that from anyone who I made listen to it, even from my D&D group. It was.
I mean, look, if we'd have listened to that track in the morning, nobody would have been loving it. It was a bit more. We were all kind of in love with each other for various reasons.
That was great though, and it was interesting because then obviously we all were like, what an interesting idea, not realizing that that's kind of how you put music together anyway. So later on you actually do construct music in that way, so EDM.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, it was just a very simple.
I wish I'd have realised that earlier on, because it took me ages to learn how to sort of do music and stuff.
So actually, of all the people who've played this game, none of them became DJs. Colin didn't play this game, but then did go on to do sound design and stuff. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I went on and
ruined our dreams.
Yeah.
I got a Guitar Hero as well, and then I got Guitar Hero World Tour, which had the drum kit in it as well, and the bass and the other guitar. And then I never used it. Never used the drums because it was just...
I need to ask. Guitar Hero World Tour. So, are we presuming that the previous Guitar Hero only used music from one country?
Oh, I think it meant like a world tour, as in like you'd perform in different places,
venues on the world.
Yeah,
I don't think they really thought about their sequel games like that. Like they didn't go, well, world tour, let's go. I think it was literally just a word that they could use as a sequel to their game. Because I think there's like 3 Guitar Hero 3. Then they just couldn't be bothered. They just called it Guitar Hero 3.
So when you go to different places in the game, do you get is there different things? Is it like, if you play these genre of music because the crowds over here prefer this kind of stuff? Is it that kind of thing, or do you just?
No, you're literally thinking of it. So
tell me, Guitar World Hero really implies that there is heroism.
Yeah, it's literally just click some buttons to a song, and if you do well, the crowd go yay, or if you do shit, then they go boo, and then you fail the song.
And that's the same in every country that you go to in the game.
Yeah,
Brazil the same, the UK the same.
It's universal.
Yeah, and they all sound the same as well. It's the same boos and the same cheers.
To be fair to them, the drum kit was the most like anything else, because you are hitting, beats and there is a pedal and stuff like that as well.
It's true, because
it was the nearest thing to actually playing a musical instrument. The rest of it was just dog shit.
Yeah, because I played guitar and at the time, sort of regular at the time, and then I played guitar and I was rubbish. Terrible.
And some people were saying, oh yeah, it's like making chords actually. I'm like, no, it's not. You're hitting the red and the green together. Like, it's nothing like making a chord on a guitar.
Yeah, your fingers
on burning. Guitar Hero?
Go on.
No, I'm throwing it out there.
Freebird was quite fun, and that was the one I played. And you got transported up by aliens to go to their planet to play gigs because it was so good. But the solo was
more
really
than a
fun
feeling. That was quite fun to play.
Classic.
Now, I like Paint It Black. I was a big fan of Paint It Black.
That was a hard one.
Yeah, that was hard. I could never do it. I watched my brother play it, but great one.
Yeah, I tell you what, my partner at the time was really into, she was a big Aerosmith fan, and there was a whole Aerosmith version, so you could like chart their career and all this kind of stuff. And there were some really cool tracks on that as well. That was quite fun.
When you got
Spiders from Mars, David Bowie,
transported by aliens from your thing into, was that still part of the world tour? Because at that point, you're off the world. You're going to a different galaxy, presumably.
That went into the interworld tour, where they were just like different planets. There's a planet of bongos. There's a planet just pretty much like electric music, and
it's like when Miss Universe is on. It's like, come on, where's the aliens?
Where's the Andromedans and
where's the lady with the free breasts from Total Recall?
Well, let's not get explicit, Ross.
Yeah, I know.
What? All right.
We'll talk about tasteful jelly beans from the Sirius Nebula, and you're just bringing in a three-breasted woman. What are you doing?
What about when they play the World Series in America as well? Like, no disrespect to America, but there's no one else playing there. There's no other countries.
No. It's kind of like Future War that we watched a short time while ago on our crap movie Thursdays. There was no future and there's no war. It's the same thing. It's like, can you apply to play in the World Series? Could you be like, can we field the London London Leopards or whatever?
Yeah, we want to be in it.
Like, no.
The London Leopards!
I don't know. Well, they've all
famous
got,
animal.
The Chicago Bears and all this kind of stuff, and we're just sort of the London Leopards.
I think we'd be more like the London Lepers, guys.
The London Leopards.
I'll put it in as a Patreon goal. We'll enter the World Series.
Imagine the Danger Club, right? There was no danger, and we weren't a club. That would be false advertising, right?
I'm not going to lie. That was a genuine worry of mine when we started the podcast. I'm like, what happens if it's not dangerous enough? And what happens if we don't behave like a club? Like, we don't even have an entry membership fee for any of the members of the Danger Club. We're not a proper club.
Couldn't just be anyone, can't it? Yeah.
I mean, that is a significant portion of sections of this show. There are whole sections where you are in no danger and you hate one another. Like, you're definitely not falling into either of those categories there.
But at some point, at least one of us is always in possession of a club. So
that's
we
true.
Save it.
It's true.
So there we go.
And would you want the model based on an after-school club, or more like the Masons? Like, do you want funny hats and robes and weird handshakes and stuff? Because I'm kind of in the middle. Maybe, just a bit.
Who starts revolutions all the time? We do.
We do.
Who's got a lie?
So episode 36. The Dark Mantle Rises. We got music from Kev. We got Sword Coast Soundscapes, Chan Walrus, Evan King, Ross Bludgeon. And this was released on the 4th of February 2019. Do you remember those days? February 2019.
I had a year.
Good lads, Chan Walrus and Evan King. There's a load of good music on their channel.
Really amazing. Good. Check them out. Yeah. Check them out. This is my favourite intro to our podcast ever in the world.
Wow.
In anything.
Is it because of your
in anything we've ever done? Just the preamble.
Oh, the preamble.
And we're going to get to that. Anyway, episode 36. Who's got a summary?
I could do it.
You got this one. We went round. I'll do 37. You do 36. Go for it.
Go on then, James. You give us a little.
I like the way you make that as a compromise. It's like that's what we discussed.
We discussed it, but we also discussed every other possible variation of that, and then just hit record. So I've lost track. Please go ahead.
To be fair, Dangerlings, this is my fault. I thought that I'd sorted this out, and I think I didn't communicate it very well. So Dan, James, my fault. Sweet. I'll hold my hands up. It's my show.
Cut all of this and just go straight into James explaining the.
No, not at all. No, this is the human side of the podcast. This
is the banter, really. This is a part of it.
Human side, we mean bad. I think that's often what it means.
Who keeps the recall confusing? We do.
We do. It's going to keep it nice and short and simple. There's been a lot of foreshadowing in the previous episodes about the Gosmuth heresy and you're going into the ossuary, and this is the one that the Danger Club finally do it with a lot of weird portenting things on the way. Lots of unpleasantness we'll talk about. Really nice description of us going in and then having the club's first encounter within, and then finding something that I really, even listening to it again, was just like, oh my god, this bit. And that is a little Riddly puzzle at the end, and my goodness, do we procrastinate. And that is the episode. It's a really good one.
Yeah, nice one, James. Thank you for that. This is my favorite preamble because someone, I can't remember who starts it, but they start singing Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. And we have a little improvisation And then I don't know who starts it, but someone goes, and I say la, and then we all start singing it, and it's brilliant. It's fantastic.
Nice.
I loved it. It was great. It was such a nice moment in the studio. I remember all of us around the table going, like, fists, like going, yes, yes, when Dan was going, hello and welcome to the Danger Club podcast. It was really nice. It was a really nice memory moment.
It was a good moment. It was an absolute banger of a tune. And for a while, it started me saying that we should make that the unofficial theme tune of the podcast. Don't you forget about me.
What a song!
That's a great song.
Yeah, simple.
What a song, man!
What a tune.
Now it's been used many places. It's been used obviously in the Breakfast Club,
in another famous club.
Yeah,
Club Synergy.
Yeah, Club Synergy. It was used at the beginning of the film and the end credits. Played twice on the soundtrack.
I believe that was the film that also made it the massive smash hit it was, wasn't it? It's sort of like
that's
the
correct,
two were sort of, it was a huge hit.
Kind of brought them together. The music video for this song was shot at Nebworth.
Oh.
Quite famous house in England. Oasis did a big gig there in, I believe, 1994 or 5. Dan, can you remember?
I have no idea, mate.
It was 94 or 95. They did a massive seminal gig in Nebworth, and they're releasing a video about video. They're releasing a video about that.
Isn't there a festival that goes on each year at Nebworth? Doesn't it host?
There used to be.
Oh, used to be.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I don't think there is really. Yeah, there might be a kind of jazz fest these days. It's more of a middle class kind of thing, isn't it? As opposed to a rock festival.
That sounds like
it was used as the soundtrack to Loose Women for a while as well. It was also used as the soundtrack, the end credits to Hollyoaks for a brief period of time. And it was featured in shows like The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and also brilliant episode of Futurama where they find Fry's brother and his grave and things. It's a really good, really nice touch.
It's nice. It's nice trivia there, Colin. How do Hollyoaks afford the rights to that song?
Don't know, mate.
What?
Don't know, mate.
And why
maybe Simple Minds got a bit broke. They spent all their riches and they were like, "Oh, Hollyoaks, do you want this for a bit?"
Maybe they were fans of the show.
And also,
maybe
isn't it though? You can play a certain amount of the song before you have to pay
10 seconds,
isn't it?
10 seconds. Yeah.
Maybe they just played 10 seconds and then
la 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 la
la. Yeah.
And for those of you who know Hollyoaks, or for those of you who don't, it's a pretty fluffy sort of late afternoon show that was shown here. Did have some hard-hitting stories, I remember, but I haven't watched it in about 20 years.
It was a pretty dodgy soap, not going to lie. My friend was on it, and when she was in it, we went to Notting Hill Carnival, and she was like, "Don't worry about it, I've got insider knowledge." And we were like, "Oh, okay." And she led us round a little corner, and behind all like the barriers and stuff was this like little luxury pub where a bunch of like the main actors from Hollyoaks were in there serving because their parents ran it. Just this siege of a pub. And she was like, "In here, into the magical hidden land behind the Notting Hill Carnival." We're like, "Oh my gosh, wow!" And like went up to the toilet, obviously because toilets at Notting Hill Carnival. And I had a little balcony outside the toilet, and you could look down on the rest of the carnival. It was nice because I got to use the stuff, and then immediately after 10 minutes of being there, started not to feel like actual Notting Hill Carnival, so we left and got back into the carnival. But it was a nice little brief.
What, you mean you hadn't been stabbed yet, and you weren't. I still have all my possessions. No, big up Notting Hill Carnival, but it's
great, man. There's hardly any crime there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I've been twice. And I had a nice time. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's great. I love going down there, actually. I haven't been in a few years. Last year, obviously.
I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, we should go down there as the Danger Club. We should all dress up and go down there and,
Danger Hill
go
Carnival.
to a sound clash. It'd be great. Yeah, Danger Hill Carnival. That'd be awesome. So this episode starts off with the troll.
Yeah.
Really, doesn't it? That's the first big moment of this episode. I mean, obviously, we get the description of going down, or that description, man. So good.
Yeah,
beautiful. Like imagery was so amazing.
It really was. I think kudos to Dan. Like he painted the world and like really sort of pictured it. And then we had this troll, which is really innovative. Sort of, I could really see it. It's such a grim sort of image of him just sort of cutting himself open. And I kind of got it because it's like, oh, trolls regenerate. So he's but
yeah,
what an interesting imaginative idea. Yeah, it's really good.
Because it's how it's a traditional way of reading fortunes is to read them in the entrails of animals. So why would trolls not do that? And they've got I like that you go to their temple, but you don't. Because I just wanted to get them in. So I was just like, you know what? Let's have the briefing be in the Troll Temple, and then they can go to the Pharasma Temple, and then we see both locations. We get to just see a bit more of the world. And there's a whole side thing about, is Valanthe Narisia working really with the church, or has she got some other stuff going on? There's an entire deleted scene which we'll get to later on.
Cool.
To do with that. But yeah, the Troll Temple's lovely, and then going down to the straight down to the Temple of Pharasma after a fallout over whether you're going to go shopping again. Em's just like, yes, we'll go right there after I've gone to the shops, and everyone's like, we're not going back to Dark Michael's.
Yeah, the troll bit was sick. And the reading the guts, Aharu Specs. It's the name, isn't it? Someone used to read.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Harris Specs reads fortunes in guts. That's the traditional name of it. Why wouldn't trolls do it? Because they do regenerate. But presumably it fucking hurts to pull your own guts out. That must be not only debilitating and incredibly painful, but also you watch your organs leave your body, then you put them back in. I mean, I imagine you get used to it, but the first few times you're like, oh, I felt my stomach lurch then. Well, there's a reason for that.
So, Dan, was this, obviously foreshadowing for things that might happen, but what made you come up with this? Did you roll for this? Did you find this premonition? Did you?
I thought it would be I thought there's a good amount of foreshadowing. There's enough. It's always a risk if you're going to add in, a prophecy or something in the games. But generally, for anyone who's done kind of cold reading or anything like that, you can tell a prophecy in a way that is vague enough that it will seem like it comes true.
It's like a star sign, isn't it? You can read any star sign and kind of put it to, in the paper in the morning or something. You can have it influence your day if you read it sometimes, because it's so ambiguous.
They're called Barnum statements, that to do, not invented by P.T. Barnum, but named after him, which is statements that are that sound very specific but are actually incredibly vague. Things like you're going on a journey, which can mean a million things. But if you're thinking about, I'm on holiday next week, you're like, yes, that's about me.
Yeah.
Things like that can help it. And this is quite specific. There is one of your family will never leave this city is a risk. But I was I was feeling confident that would play out in some form in a satisfying way. And it could be, if we got to the point where it had never happened organically, it could probably happen through an NPC or through someone staying behind, or, there'd be a way to make it pay off, but wouldn't necessarily be as good. But as it rolled out, it ends up coming out just perfectly.
And Ross, as a player, Ross, how did you take this on board when you first heard it? Can you remember?
I can't. No, I'm always like, me as a person, I'm always like, oh god. But then you have to also go as a player. You go as the character, you have to go, okay, that's vague. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
But as a player, I'm like, I'm going to die. It's going to be me. It's going to be me.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It strikes that note of, which it would do if you went and got your fortune read and they were like, oh, yes. You're like, oh. Yeah, that's vague. Because there's also tombstoning, isn't there? Which is what mystics use, those TV mystics, where you say a statement and you wait for a reaction. And obviously, because the person who that might be to, and then you can gradually hone in and be more specific. It's a similar sort of idea.
Yeah. Who here has got a sister?
Hearing a voice. Could be young, could be old. Keep it vague.
Yeah,
I lost my mother. Okay, yes, I think it's old. And then you react to whatever they say. And,
exactly. Yeah.
Or tombstoning.
Yeah. I knew it.
yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, it's clearer now. Yeah.
So
we go through all through the little place down, and we go through the lovely imagery, and we hear the babies kind of being born in the temple there and things, and then we get to the darker section, and then we go through the next door, and it's pitch black in this bit. I'm skipping because we're way ahead of time.
Oh, no, that's all right. I was just going to say something. It was a tiny thing, but I loved MZ's really awkward way of asking for a torch. That was just a tiny moment where he's just like, is these everlasting?
Yeah.
No, we light them every day. Could I take one? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, okay, thanks very much. It was just really sweet because he's quite a badass character. It's just like, can I take a torch, please?
Very British.
Very British. It was lovely.
So there's a deleted scene here.
Okay.
which ended up getting cut because at this point we knew Rachel was coming on the show later on, and so it was this became kind of a I was trying to get this episode to the point of her character before we wrapped it up, and we didn't manage it, so I cut a load of stuff. But there was going to be because there's this whole thing of Neryssia a bit like, well, and you find out later, some of the church doesn't know about the fact that there's a zombie problem, and she's trying to keep it quiet, so she wants to get you into the ossuary without loads of people seeing you. So in the original written version of it, rather than she takes you out onto the cliff and you see it and there's all the wind and everything, but rather than just taking you to the door and letting you in, she instead takes you to a preparation room where she takes them, gives them the chime, and then takes them to a room and points out 5 coffins with their names on it. Those are due to be taken down into the ossuary. The club have to hide in the coffins and get carried in and be basically entombed in the ossuary in order to get in. There is a section where 2 priests with New York accents come in and try to cremate one of them. The guys have to sort this out without raising suspicions.
Oh.
I was just like, oh my God. I was like, that's about half the episode, probably, that little skit right there.
Yeah.
And then because we had Rachel booked in, I was like, that's all got to go. We've got to, not thinking that the bloody Riddle would take up.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Dangerling.
Well, actually, looking back, I mean, we really thought that it was going to be a lot longer, but we'll get to that. But it wasn't as long as I remember it.
If you want us to go back in time and record that skit, let us know on our Discord. Our characters could do that. We can't go back in time, but we can with the power of role play. If you want us to play through, if you want to see the Danger Club buried in the ossuary, let us know.
Yeah. Let's do it. So we go down, the door shuts, we use the chime. I created the chime sound. It wasn't that hard, but I just thought it was a nice sound.
Did great, Cole.
No, I mean, it didn't take overly long. So,
wasn't hard.
I'm not trying
to do it all the time. Completed it, mate. Smashed it.
Right, that wasn't me trying to I'm really embarrassed now. That wasn't me trying to big myself up. What I was trying to say is it was quite a simple effect, and I took a long time trying to find something. I think I spent a couple of hours trying to find the right sort of chime sound, and I couldn't find anything. So I ended up making something myself, which took a lot less time, and I just put a nice effect on it. And I wish I'd have done that beforehand. I think that's what I meant. I wasn't trying to go, oh yeah, I'm fucking amazing, because it actually took quite a lot of work to get to that stage. So yeah, but I am brilliant. Jokes. Yeah, and then we obviously have this thing coming from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Ross, do you remember this?
Yeah, it was like some weird little winged thing, and it got me, of course.
A nat 20.
It was, with a natural 20. I was at the back, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were doing
so,
it
yeah.
Vietnam at the back, sort of scouting the area. And it did no
On
good.
the spiral staircase.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be. It was like a little. It's like a little. What are they called, Dan?
Called the Dark Mantle.
Dark mantles, yeah.
That's it.
They're like
Horrible
a worm
creatures,
with
aren't
kind
they?
of, umbrella-like flappy wings. They're horrible, and they've got those awful ringed mouth. That ring of teeth, like
manta rays. Yeah,
that kind of
cloakers
thing.
from D&D, aren't they? They're like horrible floating bags that drop down on you.
I laid like those winged things in that big worm in Star Wars. When they go in the Millennium Falcon.
Worm.
What are those things, and why are they inside that worm's like?
Well, they're gut
mouth.
Bats, clearly, gut bats.
Gut bats, yeah. And the fact that they know what they are, but they don't know what the big worm is.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can't. That's another podcast.
It is not another podcast, Colin. We're not making the Gut Bat podcast.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, welcome to the Gut
It'd be
Bat
like our
podcast.
version of Fraggle Rock, just with the gut bats.
Gut bats.
But we have a little
Worms,
fight with
gut-
this thing, and we have a little fight with this thing. We end up killing it.
I just want to.
you have a
I just
you have a
want
nice
to
little
return
bit
just for one thing. Sorry, because we're going to move way
No,
past
that's
it. But Velda told you he wasn't good at making maps. He told you this. Just as a little. I know he's going to come into this later because his map is now legendarily awful. But he told you that's what cartographers do. And you're like, well, just draw a simple map. I was like, well, it'll be rubbish. He told you. Just leave it there.
It's good. Yeah, we have missed a few things, and
No,
I
that's all right.
did have that written down. It was
that map's going to come up again. I know it.
No, you're right. And the map, I did have that as a note. And I also had the I see us speech from Caragor. So, Caragor's catchphrase being I see you. You had a speech, Scott, where you were like, I see us, Danger Club. And then you went through every person and you were like, I see us. So it's a bit like We Are Groot. It was nice.
It was a bit like that, wasn't it? It's nice to transfer that to a team. Yeah, to motivate before we undertake a dangerous thing. It was nice to do. Maybe.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Maybe Caragor
And
does
then, James,
that again in the future. Might be nice to do.
You do this bit. You say, I got you, fam. And then you start singing, I got you, fam, which I thought was really fun. I thought it was really nice.
Bit of Sonny and Cher in there as well, I got you.
Yeah, a bit of Sonny and Cher. I didn't deep dive on that song. But
No, it's all right. I think everyone's familiar.
if you wanted to, you could make a grime tune and that could be that could be the chorus.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
I need to shout out one thing from here. After the death of the Dark Mantle, we have a change in the leaderboards on the Justifiable Homicide tracker.
What do we got?
Caragor One Fang has moved into joint second place with MZ now on total number of kills. He's been quietly racking up all of those thug kills in the first run. If you look through everyone, all of Caragor's kills are like henchmen and stuff. They're all like zombie,
Thug 1, Thug 2.
But it's just kind of like, while people are fighting the boss, Caragor's just quietly getting on with the wet work in the background, just taking out all of the extra people. And it's finally come good, and he's pulled level with MZ.
Wonder if that's a class thing. It's a ranger slayer at this point, isn't it? Better for picking off multiple low levels than necessarily big hits on a big boss. I wonder if the fighter's better prepped for that in Pathfinder 1.
It's like Legolas constantly counting how many people he's killing. Like when he's like 21,
Maybe.
22.
We didn't keep track though, did we? I wonder if there was a tiny bit of there's been a tiny bit of macho rivalry between Caragor and Fulton, but not really that much, to be honest.
No.
Fulton's still got a lead of 3 at the moment on 11, but we've hit the point where Ross starts not being able to roll anything from now on. So I think that may change soon. Apart from Lily Fenn, Shania still not on the board.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Shania.
The scariest and angriest of all of us.
Yeah.
36 episodes in, and she hasn't killed.
To be
anyone.
fair,
kill.
Dan had to put separate things on the tracker for Gary, Scary, and then Shania.
Very true.
Yeah.
So we have this fight. We get rid of them, and then we have this riddle. And the riddle goes: my heart beats on the wrong side of my chest, or is it right? Is left right, or is it wrong? I don't know what that means or why. Now, I've got my theory on this, and I tried to explain it in the podcast, right? When we were in character, the first section of that is talking about, am I wrong or am I right? Okay, so it's like, my heart beats on the wrong side of my chest, or is it right? So he's questioning what is the right side. So you can ignore that bit. The second bit is the most important bit. Is left right, or is it wrong? And I think that's the bit that confused us. That's what we were all like, what's going on?
I'm already getting horrible palpitations and flashbacks as you've gone through it. I'm just like, oh my god, fuck this riddle, fuck it.
Do you know what's funny? Listening to it again, and we go through all this reasoning, and Velda's at the front as well, offering his opinion, left or right, and then I was like, I should just take the middle door. And then that's what we did. And I was like, that's right. We're just like, should we just go straight? Yeah, let's just go straight. I was convinced we got it wrong after that.
Well, you never went straight in there. That door ends up being, you do end up on the other side of that door later on.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, you don't. What I will do, I reckon, as this goes on, I'll post, because I've got maps of the Gods Mythossery. So for those of you Dangerlings who don't mind seeing some of the maps of the Gods Mythossery, if you're not going to play the Godsmith Heresy, or you don't care about seeing it, I'll throw up some maps as we go. Of where the club were, so you can see which doors they went through at different points, and see where
stick
they
it on the
back on each other. I'll put it
on the recall channel. That'd be great.
Yeah. Map.
The problem with this, I think the thing that got you guys a little bit is that this is a classic dungeon crawl. So the solution to each problem is not necessarily in the same room that the problem is posed. A lot of these are things where like, okay, so we've got this, and now we need to go and find something like this. And it happens in the next one with the runestone. But it's the kind of like, the solution to this riddle is not in this room. It's somewhere else in the dungeon. It's like, we cannot leave this room until we've solved. Like the solution to this riddle is pick a door and go through it.
Well, I have a note here, Dan, and it says, you can hear in Dan's voice that we don't need to think about this. And I think there's a point where you're like, I'll read it again, but fucking hell.
Wish we'd all heard that note, Cole. Wish we'd all heard and understood that note.
Yeah.
It's also because, like I said, we know that Rachel is coming in next episode, and that's all kind of set up, and I know where she is in the dungeon and how that's all written in for it. And so all I want to do is get you to the door. I want this episode to end with you opening the door that she is going to be in, and then we can do it perfectly like that. And instead, we spend all this time on this, and at the very end of it, you open the other door and go the opposite direction to where she was. And it's just one of those things that you just can't control because of the way we're recording it and because of the way we were running it. That we wanted to do it as a very true dungeon crawl. Like, I think if you certainly if it was doing it as a home game, I'd have just been like, oh, sod it. Yeah, she's through whatever door you open is the right door and she's there. And I think because we had this idea that we wanted to kind of do it true to the map to kind of give that flavour of it, it made it harder. But it was a pain to do. Do you want to know the solution to that? What that riddle? You
told
about?
us. I'm pretty sure you told us the solution.
I'm sure I've told you before.
And we all went, oh.
yeah. Tell us again. Go on, so we can all go, again.
It's on the... So it's somewhere. This is the thing. The other crazy thing is because this is a modular dungeon and there are multiple paths through it. You never went to the bit of the dungeon that explains what this is. So you never found the solution to this. But there's a mirror room elsewhere in the ossuary, and it's basically if you walk in there and you look in the mirror, you come out of an exact replica of the room the other side. And it flips your body, so it puts your heart on the other side of your chest, and that's basically all it does. If you're a sort of a regular thing, if there's other things, like Karagor's eye patch would have switched, things like that. And so basically, some tomb robbers had got into that room, been flipped, completely freaked out about the fact that their heart had switched the wrong side. Had written some graffiti relating to it and then had left. And that's all. That's what that was. It was a hint about a room somewhere else in the dungeon, which would have been kind of cool if you found it. But it was that putting huge importance on every little thing of being like, this is a problem we must solve immediately now, and we cannot move on until we fix it.
I do think. Oh,
gone.
Oh, I was only going to say, in the design of the dungeon, I'm sure that other people have done exactly the same thing we've done, because it's the first thing you find. They haven't done anything else. We hadn't even walked down a passage or done anything. It's literally, because if we'd walked down a corridor, there'd been a couple of doors that we could try or something like that. No. Literally the first thing, here's a riddle. It's obviously got to be solved before you get in. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
also the hype beforehand is a big deal. You've got Freya being like, "This is a really serious job. It's a big deal." You go to Nerissa and she's like, "You've got to take this really seriously. It's really dangerous." And then there's the hype of like seeing it's the tomb of Pharasma and all this import and stuff like that. You're dealing with the goddess of death and things like that. So you get a riddle. You're like, "Well, I mean, I'm not going to fuck around." Like, we've been told to take this seriously, so I guess we've got to take it seriously. Yeah, we've got to be careful. We're not just going to blunder around a dungeon, right? So that was us taking it seriously. But I remember the death screams of like my friends and stuff being like, and Dangerlings being like, just pick a door, because you would be as a listener.
It's one of those beautiful things that, like, if that was a home game, that would have been perfect, and that would have been such an amazing bit of the campaign that, like, there was this much tension, and because the whole point of that, obviously, it's designed to confuse you because it's a classic dungeon design, and it's designed so that basically, eventually, you have to pick left or right, and you don't know if it's the right one, and it just ratchets up tension, which is brilliant for a game, but tough for tough when you're trying to get a podcast done in a certain time limit. Speaking of which, Colin, are you trying to wrap us up?
Mate, I've been trying to wrap us up for the last, 10 years. No, I'm joking. I love you. No, we have got to go though. But that was episode. We go through the door. And then we hear a boom, 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 and things are coming from the distance. You know,
let me hear you say,
something is down there, and we need to go down there. Let me hear you say, Mayo. Yeah, team, I love you. We love you, Dangerlings. Get on the Discord, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the whatever you want to do. Thank you to James. Thank you to Russ. Thank you to Scott.
And I said bye, 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 bye.
And Dan.
Yeah.
See you, Dangerlings. Bye.
I love the fact that Colin's desperately trying to wrap it up, so we all think, let's do a quick goodbye, except for Scott, who indulged himself with a very, very long goodbye. Beautiful.